Hello and welcome to another Brand Talk session. And today I have a familiar face. If you've been following us, about if you're new here, it's someone I would really love you to not just meet here, but make it a point of call to actually check out after the session, go through his profile and all. He's a very good friend of the Brand Talk family and a successful entrepreneur. We're all about the entrepreneurship mindset when it comes to Brand Talk. And his name is Franklin Peters, and he's the CEO of Boundless Pay. And for the purpose of those just joining us for the first time or just seeing us with you on our session, I'll just give you can you just briefly introduce yourself and tell us what you do for some people that are just joining in for the first time and trying to get, oh, who is this guy that they brought on today?
Thank you for me today. I'm Franklin Peters. I'm the founder and CEO of Boundless Nexus Limited, a tech company based in the UK. We are working out of UAE, Dubai. What we do is create financial applications, right, that seeks to bank the unbanked, the underbanked, and the banked, and properly bank the banked. So we focus majorly on creating applications, financial applications around blockchain. So for most of you you might have heard about blockchain, cryptocurrencies. It's a technology, of course, that powers the next wave of financial system, and we are happy to build solutions around it. And that's what I do. I'm a fellow with the Institute of Management Specialists. Also a faculty at Techidia Institute. I am a VP at Stakeholders and Blockchain Association of Nigeria, and I'm doing my bit to help them. Thanks for having me today.
All right, that's a lot, and he's not. I think he's even understating a lot of things because he's also a writer, he's a teacher, he's a mentor, And I know I recently stumbled on this book first time. I'm actually going to ask you how we can get a copy of the book, the first time mistakes of a millionaire, because I believe that if you're watching this, you should actually listen to what this guy has to say because. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been an entrepreneur for how long now? Let me not take a guess, but you've been an entrepreneur for how long now?
Yeah, sure. I've been in the entrepreneurial space for up to 10 years now, right? Actively for about 8 years, but yeah, as far back as 10 years, I started doing stuff in the entrepreneurship space.
Wow, amazing, and. So about the book, I'm gonna leave a screenshot of the book for anybody trying to. So how do we get it now? You're not in Nigeria, so the guys in Nigeria, how do we go about getting the book? Amazon, or how do we go about it?
Yeah, sure. So the name of the book is The Mistakes of a First-Time Millionaire. I'll give you an idea what the book is all about. In my entrepreneurship journey, I've been through a whole lot. I've learned through experiences, and I've realized from listening to people to having first-hand experiences myself, what entrepreneurs go through. The fact that most entrepreneurs make the same mistakes, similar mistakes most times, when they of success, right? Hitting their first successful leap and making their first money, they tend to make the same mistake and going through the same loop over and over again, right? And so in a journey, help new entrepreneurs, people who are still starting the journey, to recognize those mistakes and to avoid them. And for those who have made such mistakes already before coming across me, to help them to pinpoint those things and achieve success without repeating the same mistakes over and over again. So that's what we're doing in the book, what I explained, and I did it through kind of explaining my own personal journey, right? It's not here It's not me trying to tell stories of what I read in books, right? It is me explaining my own life journey, right? Where it happened, and for you to learn it, and kind of go through that journey again with me through the pages of that book, and then see for yourselves and the mistakes I made, and then learn the corrections I applied that have brought me to this point. So the book, the hard copies of the book just came out recently. I'm planning to do a book launch before I make it public to, for people to be able to buy. And so we're going to announce the book launch very soon, and I hope your community will be part of it.
Oh, definitely. I would definitely follow up on the information for that, because I'll need my people to actually listen to this, because it's worth listening to. Not every time you get to hear from stories about this. And like I said, this is not the first time he's coming on the Brand Talk. I'm going to leave a link, because we actually had some sort of conversation like this, I believe last year, where we talked about why it's okay to fail. But today we're bringing him for something entirely different, and it's interesting when you talked about your book, the certain mistakes you've made in your own entrepreneurial journey. And because I'm always a firm believer in learn from other people's experiences as against learning from your own experience and all, because I believe this will help a young entrepreneur or even a career person, because everybody should have the entrepreneurial mindset. So when I mean entrepreneur, I actually mean everybody, whether you're in business or you're working. So it actually will help someone out there. Now, today we're talking about playing the long-term game, or like playing the long-term game in business, in career, in life, basically, but playing the long-term game and all. And I just quickly want to get your opinion in terms of you, a businessman, you're an entrepreneur. So let me just quickly ask, for you, is it a long-term strategy versus a short-term strategy? And whichever it is, why do you choose that?
Okay, so for me, it's more of a long-term strategy. I believe so much in the long term that in whatever I do, I sacrifice, short-term, immediate gratification in terms of the benefits I'm going to reap immediately while doing that. I sacrifice it. I don't really put it into immediate consideration. Yes, it's very important to reap benefits and to enjoy the fruits of your effort and hard work at the short term. Of course, you can't go hungry doing what you're doing, right? But having a mindset that you won't reap the whole benefit now. The real whatever you are seeing now is really not the what it is for you, right? Doing something that would outlive you would eventually pay you much more than things that you will enjoy now and then sacrifice tomorrow for. Now, there's something I learned so many years ago, I think more than about 7 years ago, in one of the communities I was part of after secondary school. Okay. So there is this one of our mentors then, he used to say, pay now, play later, versus play now, pay later. It makes a lot of sense to me, right? So when you pay the price now, the price of success, the price of achievement, the price of whatever you're doing, by reading constantly, by researching constantly, by connecting with people, by staying awake and burning the night candle, by attending conferences, by doing things that discomfort you, just so that you achieve what you want to achieve. You are going to play later. You are earning yourself enough time for the future, right? When every other person is starting, doing several other things, you are busy doing those things. It is the price you are paying. You are paying the price now, so that tomorrow, when you are playing, then maybe others are paying the price, right? So as against playing now, you go to all the club that there is, watch all the movies on Netflix. You can narrate some of them from A to Z. You can you can tell what is happening in Nigeria because you are following the social media bloggers back to. So you are playing now, you're going to pay the price because you didn't take the time to pay the price now. So that is it for me. Like, I believe so much in the long term. It may not be so pleasant, it may not be so fun, but over time the benefit is going to be reaped.
When you were talking, and it's interesting everything you said, this earlier today, I was on my startup forum and I saw this tweet. I was actually trying to figure out if I could find the tweet quickly before you finish what you were saying. But this is me paraphrasing. But he was basically talking to entrepreneurs or startup founders that you have to get comfortable understanding that it will not come as soon as you expect it to come, or the timeline you gave it. Maybe you expected, okay, the timeline for this to hit is like 3-4 years, but it ended up taking 5 to 6 years. That you should get comfortable with the fact that it's going to take more time than you expected. And the concept of this long-term strategy thing, it's not just in terms of playing, because we have quote unquote people in business, and this is pretty much what I find majorly here in Africa. I'll use Nigeria because I'm in Nigeria, and we see people concentrating more when it comes to their business strategies, what they want to do, or their business plan, or their brand building effort. Everything is centered on the short term benefit, or the short, they're playing the short term goal. So they are doing everything and anything that ensures that money comes in today. Whereas, if you put up a plan that, okay, money might not come in today, it's going to take a while before the money starts coming in. But what you're going to do in the process, or as the time goes on, is actually build. You're actually brand building. You're building better structure. You're building better processes. You're getting feedback. You're making yourself become known out there. I think some businesses just don't like the fact that they have to wait that long, and I believe they have their reasons. But I don't know, what's your opinion about that? Because I know you played well in the Nigerian market before you were relocated. So what's your opinion on that?
I think it's all about the initial interest or mindset of the builder. Right? Most people go into entrepreneurship because they see other people. Hey, this guy is a CEO, he's making so much money, he's driving a Porsche car, he's living in the nice places, he's appearing in conferences. You want to have that kind of personality for yourself, right? And you forget that, and you don't even know what the person is doing in the background to be able to achieve all those things. So most people want to do it for the hype. Most people go into entrepreneurship because they want to be independent of, working for someone and having the whole time. No, you don't even get to have your own time. When you become an entrepreneur, that's when you actually start working for not one person, but for people. You start working for people.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So then, most people go into entrepreneurship because they feel now they are going to be able to control the whole funds or the way the business runs by themselves. But it goes beyond that. Entrepreneurship is a thing of sacrifice. It's leadership. It's being able to, is the person you become in the process of becoming an entrepreneur, right? The person you become that matters, not the eventual outcome of who you become, of what comes from it, right? It is who you become in that process. And so there is need for people to give themselves to education, give themselves to mentorship, give themselves to learning. That place that you're currently working may be the learning ground for you to become a proper entrepreneur when you come out to work for yourself. So what we see in Nigeria, a lot of half-baked entrepreneurs, half-baked people all over the place who never give themselves to learning, who never give themselves to connecting, who never give themselves to self-development. So how do you now end up becoming a good leader, when you start your own venture? So that is the problem. Playing in the Nigerian entrepreneurship space, makes you even much more stronger than a lot of other foreign entrepreneurs, because there are lots of things you get to do for yourself. Government will not do. You came from a background where there is no leverage. Maybe your parents didn't leave anything for you to stand on, so you build your foundation yourself. So imagine building a shabby foundation even by yourself. When you start sinking, nobody will be there to hold you. You understand? So knowing where you are headed and having the right mindset, the right motive, would help you to build a stronger foundation for yourself and not be a half-baked entrepreneur.
You said there were three things I picked out from what you just said, and it's quite interesting. And I just want you to, if you can, take a few minutes to more like go a bit in depth on those three things. You talked about connecting, you talked about mentorship, you talked about learning. Now, can you help us better understand how these three things help you as a person? Not just as an entrepreneur, as a person. Yeah, we're talking about entrepreneurs, but I don't want our career people left out. I don't want students thinking that, this is not for me. But how does these three factors help you in terms of long-term, playing the long-term goals?
All right. So I talked about learning, connecting, and mentorship. First of all, you have to connect. You have to, first of all, give yourself to a mentor. That's the first step, right? There are people who have gone through the process that you're about to embark on. The Bible said there is nothing new under the sun, not just the Bible. Everybody knows everything is like a loop. It's like it does happen over. Nothing is new. You understand? So if you want to embark on something, don't feel like you're the first person in the whole world to be doing that. Look out for people that have already started doing it, people that have done it already successfully, and cling on to them. You will not be able to meet with them face to face, but connect to them. There are so many ways you can make that effort to now connect. You see where the connection comes in. You need to connect. It may not be one person, it may not be two persons, it may be a community, right? Find a way to connect. Don't be a standalone. Connect, communicate, be with them, go to conferences. Sometimes in connection, you have to pay the price. You may have to pay your flights to where they're having their conferences. You may have to pay a membership fee if it's a community. You may have to pay to buy their book. That is one of the ways you need to connect. You need to go to their YouTube channel, subscribe, take the pain, be part of the programs. That's how you connect and then learn. So you cannot learn if you are not connected, and you cannot connect if you don't have the mentorship mentality. So you have to, whether it's a community, see that as a mentorship group. People have this mindset that mentorship is just one person or maybe one superwoman like that. No, you can see a community as a mentorship community. The people may not, you don't need to call them, you're my mentor, but pick one or two things from each person and see it as you are being mentored by those things you're learning. You get, if it's an individual, so you have to be able to have that mentorship mentality that you are being mentored, you are learning, then you now get to connect with them, and then you will be able to learn. If you don't connect, there's no way you will learn. I've seen people in conferences, in classes, they attend the classes but they don't learn anything. It's because they're never connected.
True. We all know that back in school, the best way for you to learn something, because we know how the university or the Nigerian education system is. Let's take our typical university. Sometimes you have like 400, especially in our year ones, you have like 400 students taking one lecture, and all. You find yourself way down the back. You can't even hear the guy and all. So the best way to learn is after the whole lecture, meeting people and connecting with them, trying to get to understand the lecture, making friends and all that. So that's it. It's the same. And the beauty of it is that we're living in a world now. I know you said something about, of course, I'm a firm believer in paying the price, because I don't believe that you should get everything for free. And the beautiful thing about the world today is that it's so intertwined that these days that sometimes the only price you get to pay is just your data. You can join Twitter Spaces. We now have Clubhouses, WhatsApp, Telegram groups, and stuff like that. It's just your data. YouTube channels. It's just your data that you have to pay, and all. And it's still strange that people still don't get to understand this.
Yeah.
But let's move on from it and all. And I'm happy that earlier on you talked about, if you're able to build in the Nigerian market, like honestly, the world is yours, because you said a lot of things. It's not just about providing. What about the things that are not even okay? It's not just about not providing. How about the fact that they don't even try to stay, I'm trying to figure out how to put it. They don't even try to stay clear and allow people, like, we're now in this situation in Nigeria currently, and it's crazy. Inflation is the last time I checked, about 15%. Unemployment is still like at 4%, and government is just clueless about anything they're doing. There's nothing. There's no enabling environment, and then you find all these stupid taxes, regulations. Everybody's like, every government agency right now is just looking for a way to milk small business owners or what a business is in Nigeria right now, and it is crazy. So, I think in a way I'm understanding how painful it is playing the long game when it comes to being in Nigeria. It's going to be very painful, and I believe you've seen days like this before. You've probably been through things like this. I know definitely. So, how, in your own experience, how do you, especially when you're playing in the Nigerian market, how do you thrive in moments like this? Especially, the long game is a waiting game. It is a waiting game. It doesn't happen today. It's not guaranteed in the next 1 year. It's not guaranteed in the next 2 years. But the fact that you're building something, so it is a waiting game. In terms of waiting, how in your own experience, how have you been able to use the waiting game to your advantage? How have you been able to thrive? And what are the things you've learned? Oh, okay. So we lost him. I think that's probably network. So I'll just wait for him to get back. Okay, we lost you there. So I believe it was network.
Okay. Yeah, I kept getting so many calls. All right.
Okay. So my question is this: how, using your own experience, like, what are the things that you were able to do? Is it strategy, structure? What it is that you built around yourself to help you thrive in days like this? Because I'll be very honest. I've seen the things you've done. I've followed you for about 4 to 5 years now, and I've seen the things, how consistent you've been in showing up, and it's amazing. Honestly, it is amazing. And like I said, you've been in the Nigerian market. So what it is that you did, or from your own experience, what do you think someone that is starting up or just going through, like, it's crazy right now, like, what would you advise the person?
So my advice is, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, all right. So my advice is very simple. Look beyond your immediate environment. There is problem everywhere. Every environment, every country have their own unique problem that is unique to them. Yeah, we understand that Nigerian factor is kind of all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that. It's not easy at all, right? But when you come to Dubai, you also realize that they have their own unique. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you realize that they have their own unique issue. If you go to UK, it may be tax issue. If you go to America, it may be a lot of regulatory issue. So every environment have their own issue.
All right.
You have to have what we call grit, G-R-I-T, to be able to stay, irrespective of what the problem is. Your pound. staying in that environment, if you have the capacity to leave the environment to a better and more favorable environment with all due pleasure, right? Leave. Yeah,
Okay.
it should be clearer now. Yeah,
Yes.
and someone keeps calling me, like I've picked the call out to the person. So I'm sorry about that.
Okay, no
So
problem.
the point I'm trying to make, yeah, it's very important. By all means, if you find a different environment, right, that is much better than your environment, right, based on some factors you might have considered, don't leave because someone left and the person's life is looking good. The grass is always brighter, the other, greener at the other side of the field. To be honest, it's all about what you are doing. Yeah, it's when you get there you understand. So don't leave because people look better when they travel, or they have made it when they travel, or maybe their pictures are looking good when they travel. No. Leave because you have checked, this is the environment for me. This is where, for this reason, for that reason, this is where I think I will thrive. And when you leave, right, it is not the environment that will make things good for you. It's still you. The same effort you put, you have to still do what it is that that you should do to make ends meet for yourself, for your business. You still need to connect, you still need to put in the effort and all that. And so for me, there are companies and individuals in Nigeria that are doing well as well, right? They didn't have to leave. The business is still in Nigeria, but they're still doing well. So perhaps Nigeria has the market, is the market for them, and they understood it. You understand? So you need to understand your environment. You may be making more money, enough money to take care of your internet, your electricity, to even sort the omonile and the whole Nigeria stuff, and still be in profit in the same Nigeria, and still live a good life in the same Nigeria, right? Whereas maybe if you travel, tax may take the whole money and you'll be struggling, and you may not even be able to connect. Maybe the environment doesn't even need the product or the service that you are taking there. So just understand your environment and know how to play around it. That's my advice. Yeah.
If there's one thing I've consistently hear you say, I think trying to wrap up the entire session, is this: the fact that, as an entrepreneur, you need to first and foremost know yourself. You need to understand that, first, why am I getting into this? What is the purpose? What is your purpose? I like to say, you first of all find your God-given purpose, align it to what you're passionate about, what you're doing here on earth, because it's your purpose that will keep you through the dark days. If there is no, I believe the reason why you told us an amazing story the last time you were here when we talked about why it's okay to fail. And I believe you went through those dark times, and it kept you, and what is still keeping you today, it's a purpose. Like you defined, you figured out that purpose, you define it, you put it in front of you every day. It's a driving force. So it helps you, it makes it easier for you to make that decision. Okay, do I want to leave Nigeria? Do I want to stay in Nigeria and make it work? And just like you rightly said, there are people in Nigeria that is making it work, that are thriving, even in this whole ridiculous situation as it is right now. So I just want to, so maybe is there an aspect of greed here? Because, will I say greed? I'm trying to figure out if greed is people just not greed. Greed, GREED.
Greed.
Like people, Is there an aspect of greed when people just want to do this thing? Like, I just want to hit it now. I want to put up this business. I want it to start making money now. And then whatever I'm doing, I'm not interested in trying to go to build this thing. I just want it to start. Is there an aspect of greed there, or just people trying to survive in Nigeria, as they say?
So it's a lot of things. It's not just one. It could be greed. There are some people that, I've seen people working for someone. It's quite interesting and funny at the same time. People working for someone, maybe as a manager or as a secretary or something, or, and then you have access to see the kind of inflow that is coming in that business. And the next thing that comes to your mind is, I need to start my own. That is greed. Do you understand? Yeah. Maybe it's not even your line. Your line is to be everybody must not be a CEO. I need to say this. Everybody must not be the running. Not everybody have that calling, have that, grace. No matter how hard you try, it may not work for you. Some people are supposed to be able to see themselves as leaders, even under service. You are meant to work with somebody to achieve the same goal and the same purpose. You understand? You may not be even the second or the third or the fourth person in the list, but wherever you find yourself, as far as you are putting your best and this is what you know how to do and doing it right. Maybe if you want to do something else, you can find yourself creating a community or a group or kind of inspiring other people to learn the same thing you are doing. In that case, you are their leader. You understand? If you're very good with cleaning, for me to use this as an instance, maybe you're good as a cleaner. I mean, not cleaner as there's a way you can do something and it's classic. You understand? You are good with there's this word people use. People that keep environments clean, and you're very good at it. Right? You may be shocked that one day you'll be cleaning the White House. You will be the person in charge of it. You understand? And you'll be paid millions of dollars for doing that. You understand? So, and maybe if you want to be in the place of leadership, it's not for you to leave that aspect that you know is your calling and start pursuing to become a president of the country. No, you can open your own company where you now teach people how to clean and clean good as much as you do. Then in that case, you have put yourself in a place of leadership, but doing what you are called to do. So most people do some of those. Maybe they have an access to see what's going on, up there, and they feel, then go and make a mess of the whole thing. No, that's where greed comes in. I said it's a bit of a lot of things. Some other people just want to live the life. Some people just want to be independent unduly, and some other people just want to do a lot of things. You've not even found your purpose. Anything you feel someone else, maybe your friend, is doing, you want to do. You need to find what works for you and focus on it.
I really appreciate this you said about you can actually be a leader still in service. But someone might look at it and say, okay, maybe it's for people in career, someone that is working as an employee. Well, I'm a firm believer that even when you step out and build your own business, you don't necessarily have to be the CEO of your own business. I believe in partnership, and and this brings me to my last question, or throwing to you now. Does partnership play a role in the long-term game? If it does, can you explain to us, probably using your own experience, how partnership plays a role in that?
Yeah, so in the long-term game, partnership plays a huge role. There is this guy, I've forgotten his name, but he went to see, he had someone that he looked up to, right? Okay. And he told himself that I'm going to meet with this person, I'm going to connect with this person, and I'm going to be his partner. That was his goal, that was his dream. Right, and then one day he met with the person, and he presented himself to the person, and the opportunity that was given to him when he met with the person was to work in the lowest level of service in that company based on his skill. But he worked, gave his best to it, and he took advantage of so many opportunities until he worked himself up to that his dream desire. It took about 20 years before he became a partner to the company. In fact, how he became a partner to the company was when the company, the person I'm talking about, who was the person that invented the light bulb?
Okay. I think the guy you're talking about, was it Tesla or?
So Edison. Thank you.
Thomas Edison.
Thank you. Yes. So it was Thomas Edison he wanted to become a partner to, right? So it was his dream. His name was Evans. This person I'm talking about is Evans. So he said he's going to become a partner. Now, I'm trying to explain how partnership can lead you up to the long-term game. Yeah. He has made up his mind. He found a way to meet up with him, connecting. Remember, mentorship. First of all, he saw him as a mentor from a distance. Secondly, he found a way to connect with him. He traveled a very long distance, right? Back in the days, he connected with him. Thirdly, he started working from the lowest level of service, and he started learning. At some point,
Tesla invented a particular telephone. It was another of it. He was an inventor. So he also invented radio system. So when he invented it, the people were, of course, this is not going to work. Even a lot of his staff, none of them could, be able to sell the concept. And this guy saw it as an opportunity. From that lowest level where he was working faithfully for so many years, he told him that, let us sign an agreement. I'm going to sell out this radio. Wow, are you serious? Yes, I can do it. He signed that agreement. Till tomorrow, that particular radio system, I'm going to remember the name. Maybe before this session ends, we already ended, but you can research about it. So the information, the way it was sold afterwards was invented by Thomas Edison, installed by Matthew Evans. That's anywhere you see that particular radio installed, that was how they wrote it. Invented by Thomas Edison, installed by this person. And so many other brands eventually picked up that stuff, where you see invented by this company, installed by this particular company. You understand? But it took him years. It took him years of consistent followership, right? To be able to get to that point. So if you don't have that long-term mindset, there are lots of things along the way, lots of opportunity that would come your way, that because you are half-baked, you try to hit it big here, you don't work, you jump to the very next one, you will never meet that opportunity that you're looking for. So playing the long-term game, I will use myself, as a round-off as an instance. When I started, my goal was to solve a simple problem, right? Help people get on the blockchain space easily, right? So you want to make payments, you want to buy crypto, you want to, just anything that has to do with, this financial aspect of crypto. That was what I had in mind. So the first thing I created was an e-commerce platform. You understand? And then from there, because I stayed consistent, a lot of things probably did not go the way I planned, right? Consistency made me to move to building an exchange, right? And of course, when Nigeria came with their whole wahala and everything, we modified the whole exchange to turn into this boundless space stuff, which is making a lot of strides now globally. The level of partnerships and collaborations and people that are involved in boundless space, I never knew that I was going to be able to meet with them. Some of them, the meeting I had yesterday was a mentor I've been looking up to since 5 years ago. I never knew I was ever going to meet with them. So last week, the wife of the man sent me a message on Instagram, on LinkedIn, that they just moved to Dubai. That, I didn't know how she took notice of me. I think it was just this attraction that she noticed I'm also in Dubai. I should come for coffee. I went for coffee. That's how I met with Professor Edson. That's the name of the man, is coincidentally Edson. You understand? That's how I met. I was in their house yesterday and we discussed business and partnership. You understand? So imagine, somehow I was just all over the place. I will not be here. A lot of people that want to partner with me it's not even because of how massive or how beautiful Boundless Pay is. It is because they have seen me over time, over the years, consistently doing something in the same line. You understand? Imagine they came to me today. You come to me today. I'm in the agriculture sector. Tomorrow you come to me, I'm now in the fintech sector. Next tomorrow you come to me, I'm in the medical sector. I'm all over the place. Which one are you going to hold the grip on and say that this is what this guy is known for? So long term always pays. Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Well, honestly, thank you so much. I know you're a busy man, and I really wish we could do this, but this has been a load. There's been so much for our guests to download, and I'm really, really grateful. So, guys, you've heard it. Like, you find your purpose, specialize, be consistent, find partnership, build mentorship, get a mentor, find a mentorship community, connect with people. I'm not just talking about build relationships with people, and then keep learning. And it's a long-term game. If you're interested in the short-term game, don't worry. If you want us to be talking about your name, like we're talking about Thomas Edison and Evans, like 100 years from now, it has to be a long-term game for you. So thank you so much, Franklin, and I really appreciate it. And I'm pretty sure once the books are ready, I'm sure that we'll definitely keep up with you and know when the books are ready to do. So thank you so much for your time.
I'm gonna
Okay.
point out something. The name of the person that installed that radio was Barnes, Barnes. So I don't give you wrong information. It's not Matthew Evans.
Okay, Barnes.
Barnes. Yeah.
No problem. All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you guys. Bye.